Hi, Libra. Welcome to your January through June 2024 reading. Welcome to the Fearless Intuition channel. My name is Betsy. If you're new here, thanks for being here and hanging out. And if you are returning or a subscriber, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Drop a like and a subscribe. That would be awesome. Uh, so, um, the way that we do the 6 month readings here, the January through June, I also offer July through December in the middle of the year. So that will be coming. I like to cram too much information into these readings because I feel like a lot of stuff can change, especially because we have eclipse season in each half of the year. We have eclipse season. So we want to pay attention to stuff like that. So the way we do these readings is I have all of the major arcana and the four aces in one deck, and we choose um, one card for each month, an overlying theme for each month, and then we'll go back with the second deck and clarify and just get a little bit more information for your month. So, Libra rising, moon, and sun. I said that really funny, but that's what we're doing. This felt like a really weird year for Libra risings. It felt like there were a lot of destiny shifts, and like it felt like we were going through a lot of wormholes, and kind of time didn't really exist, but it felt like there was a lot of destiny shifts, and that's sort of why. But it was really confusing and often strange. So I hope 2024, and I know that even Libra energy, just in general, like I can just think of, the Libra energy that I've worked with in myself. I'm a Libra rising. My partner's a Libra rising. One of my best friends is a Libra rising. Um, we've all just the Libra energy. We've all just been through it this year in very interesting ways. And so, yeah, I'm really interested. So let's go ahead. We have the moon for January. We have, ooh, nice, Ace of Wands for February. March is the Star. The Hermit is for April. May is the Lovers. And, ooh, that's interesting. The Death card like flipped out on me, but the Hierophant is for June. Okay. I wanted to say real quick, you guys, we have new mugs on the website. These are so cool. Henry designed these mugs, and they're up on the Love and Science website. If you look at the description box, I love it. They're microwave safe. We had mugs in the past where like the handles would get too hot. It's so annoying. And I love that mug too because it's really cute. But these are really great. They're microwave safe and they're dishwasher safe, and he did such a good job. So all the signs are up on the website. Okay, Libra. So I feel like, okay, so in January we have Pluto ingressing Aquarius for the second time. That's going to be changing a lot when it comes to like humanity, humanitarian things. Technology is probably going to be there's a lot of things that are going to happen with Pluto and Aquarius. And the thing with this is like everybody thinks that when Pluto gets into Aquarius, we're all going to be saved from this Pluto and Capricorn energy. And in some ways we will be, but that still means because Pluto is destruction, it's complete destruction and then rebuilding, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of changes with the internet as well and social media. Um, just things happening like that. And so I feel like there's, you coming into the year with that moon energy in January. I almost want to say like you got to go by faith as you're starting this year. Like I feel like there's a lot of faith involved with this year. Ace of Wands in February feels like some opportunities are coming to you, and it's really leading you down a journey for yourself in a big way. Relationships look like they're definitely a theme here, especially if you're married or you're in like a committed relationship. There are also some themes there too. So let's take a look. January, we have the moon, and with the moon, there's a lot of that like needing to nurture yourself because you have to kind of learn how to trust yourself under the moon's guidance. There's not a lot of light. Even in a full moon, it's not the sun, right? It's not the light of day. So there's really a lot of about trusting your own instincts in January, and it looks like you're going to need to. There's some things that are happening that I feel like are a part of your journey, but they may not be necessarily comfortable. So you have to be willing to understand that, even the most uncomfortable experiences in life are still part of our journey, and we still have to watch that, right? So you came out right away in your energy, the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Tower. See what I mean? And then we have the Star. I feel like the universe is trying to move you in some way with this foundation shift. I feel like there's this really having to pay attention to even the hard and difficult parts and find some peace with them. That's sort of what this feels like to me. Hold on one second. These notifications keep popping up on my computer, and I really just need to turn the do not disturb off on. So, okay. So let's clarify. Queen of Swords. So yeah, there's a lot of faith involved with that Tower energy because the Tower is a shifting of your foundation and having to move, and the shifting of the foundation, and it does feel it does feel pretty significant. I'm not going to lie, Libra. So the Chariot on the Queen of Swords. So remember when I said, I feel like the universe is trying to move you. And that's what this feels like here with the Chariot moving forward. You could be traveling somewhere. You could be physically moving in January or traveling in January. But we have the Page of Pentacles that clarified the Tower. And so the Page of Pentacles is like student energy. On one side, it's like student energy. And on the other side, it's like breadcrumb energy, right? So one of the things that you really have to pay attention to is, are you receiving breadcrumbs from certain people? Because that foundation is about to shift. If you're receiving breadcrumbs from people and you're not receiving like the respect or the foundation or the safety or like any of that stuff that you deserve, you we should all be allowed people in our life that are going to love us in the same way we love ourselves or more, right? And we need to love ourselves more than we choose to love other people, because at the end of every day, we are the ones that we always have. Other people and things come and go, right? So the Page of Pentacles on the Tower makes me feel like this is the beginning of something new for you. And I sort of feel like it's humbling you in some ways. I know you're not an earth sign, so the Page of Pentacles feels weird to say that, but this feels very humbling. So for some of you, you have like earth energy in your chart, and you're feeling a little humbled by what's going on in your world right now. And then we have the Nine of Swords on the Star. And I think that the fear of the journey is kind of getting to you as well. That Nine of Swords is like really a lot of overthinking. So I feel like Libra's doing some overthinking in January. And it's not that I think that that's a, it's, I feel like under these circumstances, it's normal. When you get the Tower, when you get the Chariot, when things are shifting and changing so rapidly and it's hard to hold on, yes, you can get overwhelmed and you can get really scared. You could be dealing with an Aquarius also that feels, or an Aquarius energy, um For some of you, you are the Aquarius energy as well, and there's just a lot of like feeling that heavy stress on you. So a lot of faith in January. Things may be kind of uncomfortable, but I mean, this is really showing you how to show up for yourself too. Some opportunities are showing up in February for you. Chiron is conjunct the North Node the entire month of February. So the whole world is really going to be healing in February. But you are receiving some opportunities. It looks like there might even be some work opportunities that are showing up for you. There could be a Capricorn around you as well, but there's some kind of lesson in rebuilding through the grief. That's literally how I want to say that. Opportunities are showing up for you to learn how to rebuild yourself. We have the Devil. We have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Cups. So, like, I'm still studying and learning about karma, and I kind of see it in a different way than a lot of what the world sees it, because I don't really see it as like, yes, it's consequences of your actions, but it's like immediate consequences of your actions. It's like the choices that you're making are bringing you into new choices and new decisions and da 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 da. And I don't really feel like you hold on to it. But I do think in this lifetime, doing everything we can to make sure that we're taking the steps to like get, go through the things that we need to go through. There are lessons that we have to learn. And I think for you guys, one of those lessons is in, taking the steps even through the grief with the Devil, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups, right? I don't remember if I showed you the Eight of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles is working really hard. And part of me wants to say, Libra, that I feel like you're almost working through the grief and not even allowing yourself to feel it. And that might be one of the lessons that you have to learn, is to not work so hard through things. Like, it's fine to distract yourself for a little while and once in a while. Whoa. But if you're doing it constantly, there's going to be, I feel like if you're constantly distracting yourself, you're not taking care of business, which is what I feel like this Eight of Pentacles is. It's like, it's time to take care of some business, right? It's time to wrap some things up. And so maybe that's something that you're thinking about in February, that you're realizing like, it's, there are certain parts of my life that I've got to find some closure in so I can move on. And so I think that there are some opportunities in February coming for you. Nine of Pentacles. For some of you, this is about being independent and abundant all on your own. For some of you, you could be changing jobs too, closing out one job, one chapter in your life, and starting a whole new one. Wow, look at the sun rays on that. I can't. There we go. We'll put them up here. The World came out on the Eight of Pentacles, and this is what I'm talking about. I feel like right now you're taking steps to close down a chapter, and I don't want you to distract yourself from those steps that you need to take. Because oftentimes when we distract ourselves, it's like taking a detour, and then it takes longer for things to get taken care of. We have Judgment on the Five of Cups. The universe is telling you to process those feelings now. You got to process the grief of whatever is ending through February. Like, allow yourself to do that. You're not alone. I love Judgment card in this deck because there's that baby dropper almost coming down from source. And so, really reminding yourself that you have help through all of this. You have help and assistance and, people that will rally for you through all of this. I guarantee you, Libra. So wrapping something up because there are new opportunities coming. And then we have the Star for March. And the Star is often our journey. When whenever I get the star in a reading, I often think of the North Node in our natal charts, because the North Node is really what are the lessons that our soul wanted to learn in this lifetime. And I feel like with the star, part of your journey here is, like we talked about, relationships, right? Like I feel like part of your journey is within learning about relationships and building upon relationships and growing in relationships. And so this coming first 6 months of the year really feel like things, the responsibilities in your life you're meant to be taking care of, and growth within relationships in a really big way. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. You could be dealing with an earth sign, a Capricorn, could be a Virgo or a Taurus. We do have Taurus energy and Virgo. Any of them, really. We have all of them here. We had the Devil earlier, remember? Then we have the Two of Cups, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. If you know, so this in a lot of ways feels like there's, with the Seven of Pentacles, you're planting seeds for the future. To me, the Seven of Pentacles feels like you're working on something. I feel like you are trying to plant seeds within a relationship. You're trying to grow a certain relationship or build a certain relationship. And it might have been that you needed to close out one relationship before you started building, up on the other relationship. So we have the Queen of Pentacles here, the Two of Cups. Wow, that earth energy is heavy in March. So I feel like one earth sign might be really daunting on you, and another earth sign is the person that you feel like you're supposed to be with, something like that. That's sort of, it's very interesting how this feels. But we have the Ten of Wands on the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like there's a journey that's ending with one person who is an earth sign, or somebody who used to be loyal to you in the past, somebody who was like loyal, and it doesn't even have to be an earth sign. They may just have earth in their chart. But it feels like with that Ten of Wands that it was a really heavy journey with this person, and you're almost to the end of it. And that might be that closing of the cycle that happened in February. And then we have the King of Pentacles on the Two of Cups. And this feels, I feel like you're coming together with people that make you feel good. The Two of Cups is soulmate energy. That doesn't have to be romantic. But I feel like part of you is, one of your lessons that you're learning is about relationships and how to have relationships, and to not be attached to the idea of forever too. And not to be attached to the idea that the other relationship has to complete you in some way. Libra, are you listening? Right? One of your main lessons in life is relationships, being that you represent the seventh house in some ways, or the seventh house, that's where we reference the Libra energy. Temperance is on the Seven of Pentacles. So if you're trying to grow a new relationship after a really difficult relationship, patience and time is what you need in order to be able to get to a place where you feel good enough to be able to do that again. That takes time. And that's why the grieving in February was so necessary. We have Temperance here on the Seven of Pentacles. So I feel like there are some new things that are coming up for you and growing. And so, I know there's a lot of stuff that you want to happen right now, but just taking a step back and looking at everything, excuse me, looking at everything, remembering that anything is possible. Anything, even if you don't think it's possible, trust me, it's possible. April, we have the Hermit, and April is actually eclipse season. So I'm not surprised that you would want to be a hermit in April. You could be dealing with that earth energy, that Virgo energy. Let's see. Ooh. Also have a card that's flipped over here. Okay. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Seven of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. I actually think, I feel like there's some new things. I feel like you've got some opportunities for you right now. And I feel like April's a really emotional month. And I think that that's why you kind of want to come into hermit mode. The Queen of Cups makes me really feel like you're feeling a little bit more emotional. And it could even be like on the outside too. Like you could really be showing everybody your emotions in a lot of ways. And a lot of it might be because you're confused. But with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like the universe is giving you some ideas. And so grounding is really, really going to be helpful for you in April, and making sure that you're taking the time to spend to center with yourself and to not let yourself go overboard on the overthinking part and all of that. Let's see what the Ace of Pentacles is. Yeah, Queen of Cups. Like, I think that there are some things that are happening with you, and like in monetarily, and I think that there's some knowledge that's coming to you, and I feel like you're just doubting it. I feel like you're not really, there's something like the Hermit energy. The reason why the Hermit energy is here is because there's an amount of trust that you're going to need to have on this journey. My moo kite just dropped off the table. That sucks. It's this cute little yellow crystal. It kind of looks like mustard yellow. I like it. Anyway, Five of Swords on the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like there are some opportunities showing up for you, and that Five of Swords makes me feel like you're not really paying it, like you're kind of doubting it. And I think within that doubt, you're also doubting yourself. You might even be doubting like the financial aspect of life right now as well. Temperance on the Queen of Cups is really showing, this is what I mean by grounding. Like with temperance, we want to have a logical heart and a logical mind, right? This is Sagittarius energy. And if Sagittarius energy is not focused on something, it's really chaotic and it's a whole big old whole mess, right? So being grounded and balanced and thinking with your logical and with your heart, that is balanced and grounded and evolved temperance energy, right? So that's where you need to go, because if you get overwhelmed with the opportunities and all the things that you have to get done, I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, you'll become really rigid and stagnant. I feel like the confusion will make you really rigid and stagnant, because when a Libra is out of balance, it's like, whoa, it's a little bit more difficult to, yeah, it's just difficult, you know? So, it's hard to live. It's hard to do life when a Libra is out of balance like that. So I feel like you get rigid, and Queen of Swords with the Ace of Swords, when you get rigid, um, you probably say some things that you may not necessarily mean, but they come out the wrong way, or people are misunderstanding you. We'll have a Mercury retrograde in Aries also in April. So, grounding for April is key to being able to trust the decisions that you're making and to not get rigid. You want the energy to flow. And I think that you might even be at like an angry, like an overly emotional and angry kind of stage of life. It also may be that you need to be a little bit more patient with the Queen of Cups or a water sign around you. Like, I feel like you're a little bit testy, like a little bit short in April. The Lovers for May. So with the Lovers, I don't go directly to that divine partnership or that divine relationship, because to get to that divine relationship and to be able to recognize it, we have to be able to have a divine relationship with ourselves too. because you're not going to recognize it. You're going to look at it from a human standpoint, and it's not going to be what you think it is if you don't get to your divine self. Trust me, I've already done this. I've already been there. I'm having the relationship right now, and I had to trust that divine part of me. Otherwise, it would not be good, right? It would not have worked. So the Lovers for me is when I read it, it's about getting whole first. It's about, and it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you have to be all healed up. You just have to know who you are, get back to yourself and deprogram everything that you once thought that you were, like the person you thought you were supposed to be. Coming to wholeness means that you're using your masculine and your feminine energies to be grounded and centered and make decisions from that place instead of like an ego, I think I know everything kind of place, right? So we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Hanged Man. There is really, like, I feel like there's this, like you want to have a new foundation. And I think that you want to have a new a new foundation either with someone, or you want to have a new foundation with a whole brand new relationship, or something. Like I feel like there's some kind of healing or working on the foundational part of your relationships in May. And I think that a pause is needed. And I think some perspective is needed. And I think some reflection is needed. And so, and with the Page of Cups, because there's a lot of desire here and want and need. And when we're desiring and wanting and needing, that's conditional. When we give all of the things that we desire and want and need, when we give them to ourselves first, we don't put that on other people. So there's some kind of reflection and some kind of perspective shift that's needed to help you rebuild the relationship with yourself and the relationship with other people. And I think that there's going to be kind of a surprise to you, because there are parts of the foundation that you thought needed, you thought had to be, and that's just not the case. And so, yeah, this feels pretty. So we have the Tower on the Eight of Pentacles. It's like what you once built in the past it's no longer. And you have to rebuild something now. Like the old foundation no longer exists in the way that you thought it was going to. And in order to get your happily ever after, right? 10 of Cups on the Page of Cups, in order to get that, you got to get real with yourself now, because that 10 of Cups is going to look different. And I know what it is that you want and desire and need feel very strong inside of you. And I want you to hold on to all of that. But at the same time, I want you to give it to yourself, because that grief that we wanted you to look at in February is showing back up again in May. 5 of Cups on the Magician and the Hanged Man. When we are manifesting things in our life, yes, we want to look at the things that we really want to have in our life and we think that will be good for us for our best and highest good, but we want to be open-ended about that too. We want to be like open-minded and be like, I'm going to leave a lot of space for the universe's interpretation, because I have a human mind and it's very small compared to what can actually be accomplished. And on the other side of manifesting, we also want to make sure that we're manifesting things that we don't want. And the way that we know what we don't want is through the grieving process. Do you see? So May is reflection for you. May is a lot of reflection for you. And I think that there's going to be some parts of life that have to be taken apart so that you can see that happily ever after again through all of that. And really even reflecting on, not just relationships, but what you deserve. So then we have the Hierophant for June. The Hierophant can often represent societal standards. It represents marriage. And it can also represent like higher education learning, a spiritual leveling up, all of those things as well. Um, and I feel like this, even more so, there's this need and desire for a new foundation, right? So the Hierophant here, we have the Devil for June. We have the Two of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Cups. So I feel like now is the time, like you have to decide what you're going to do. And that Two of Pentacles is like the longer you vacillate, the harder it's going to be for, the longer you vacillate on what it is that you want to do, the harder it's going to be for you to be able to do it. And that Three of Pentacles is like, you're not alone in rebuilding this foundation that feels like it needs to be rebuilt. And with the Four of Cups is that centering aspect to kind of come back to yourself. So let's see, the Devil. Woo. Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Four of Cups. Oh, okay. And so here's the thing is sometimes we have okay, sometimes things come out like I feel like some information comes out. I feel like some information is said. With the Ace of Swords on the Devil in June, I feel like something comes out is the way that I want to say that, or like an announcement is made, and I feel like it's it's a big deal, right? Like it may have to do with your work, or it may have to do with just any other things that you're learning in your life. But I feel like there's something comes out and there's an announcement. And you have a decision you have to make. We have the Knight of Pentacles on the Two of Pentacles here. And that Knight of Pentacles feels very much like you really need to not skip the steps right now. Whatever announcement is made may throw you up in a frenzy or may like bring some kind of chaos into your life. But I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, it's like, whoa, slow your roll. You don't have to make the decision right now, but soon you will. Like someday you will. The Three of Cups on the Three of Pentacles. Again, I don't feel like you're alone, but I feel like right now you can't really trust a lot of people. The Seven of Swords with the Strength card on the Four of Cups. I feel like you really want to be alone right now because I feel like you don't really feel like you can trust a lot of people. And it's almost as if you kind of went inward because of this Ace of Swords. But I do feel like you're not alone. So I sort of want you to be able to reach out. And the Hierophant makes me feel like you're either dealing with a Taurus or you're dealing with a relationship, or it's something like you have to make a decision about the next part of your journey, and that's the level up. And in order for you to do that, you've got to find that center because things are going to come out of the blue and it's going to shake things up. And so you have to be able to come back to your center so you're making the right decisions and you're not making decisions through stress mode. Okay. I love you guys. Take really good care of yourselves. Have a wonderful beginning of your 2024. And thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye.